Even given the lag because of my physical distance from the lunar surface, it was a heck of a long pause. Judging from his tone, Marco was probably flabbergasted. Betting on the collapse of ABS. We gather the data, the logic doesn't seem to be bad. I don't think so. First of all, Hal, misunderstanding something about the extreme version of quantity theory of money. B might be ninja or something. This logic where more fish there are, more value goes up because everyone wants them. The price doesn't go up because they don't have the money. It's an exception. It's like an exception under extreme circumstances. Look at reality. There'll always be someone to pay for something that has value. After all, they have money. Look at Earth, or slight well-off people of a lunar surface. They don't care about a debt or anything. After saying his piece, Marco shut up. I doubt the silence was lagged so much as in waiting to hear how I'd answer. So you think that since I'm using a doctor's data, I'm also falling victim to unhealthy pessimism? I do think so. He was more silent Marco's short answer. I didn't even expect Marco to be so clearly opposed to this. I couldn't wait for the orbital elevator to reach the Earth orbital base. When it decelerated as it reached transmission range, I called him. I ended up having the wind taken out of my sails. But I've seen at the airport, this foolishness of a loan is rampant. Real estate interest yields are below 2%. There's no precedent for that, even on Earth. How could you not call this a bubble? How? You should know this, right? A bubble is something you can't figure out why you're in the middle of it. You understand why Dr. Wallace is nicknamed the King of Pessimism, right? I'm telling you, the index to figure out was the rental market value. A voice of a PA system announced the orbital elevator would reach its destination in 15 minutes. How? Please calm down and collect yourself. I am calm. Do you know that you can't create a system capable of finding its bugs by itself? A famous logic problem. However, just like you can't trisect an angle with just a rule and a compass, it had been demonstrated that it was logically impossible. When you had a robot saying, "I am not broken," it was usually broken. It was the same thing. When someone was adamant about something, but had no way of knowing, usually had some sort of problem. What do you want me to say then? That you don't have a cool head on your shoulders and that you want to be a opinion of a third party. As I sighed, Marco directed his words at me. I don't want you to deny your point about listening, you know. This is an opportunity, unbelievable opportunity. I know my voice unconsciously because that's just how big of an opportunity it was. A gamble where you'd make billions of more worth of chips every month. That didn't exist anywhere in this world. Only exchange trade might qualify, but unfortunately my range of price fluctuation was limited. A trade on the scale would even dwarf bets involving unbelievable amounts of money, with price fluctuations going up several times, several tens or even several hundreds. There was no such investment on the lunar surface. Most certainly never existed in this world. Or do you oppose this because Dr. Wallace had heavy losses? The losses are not the problem. Besides, if I was a better investment than you, I'd run my own fund. What is it then? Marco answered my question immediately. I'm talking about how to explain this to our backers. Do you want me to explain to them we're going to bet money on the lunar surface real estate collapsing? It was collected, yet its tone was jeering. I wonder if we've gone mad. The lunar surface real estate market price has never fallen, even once. At times it did reach a plateau. Those long plateaus have occurred 3 times. It's always increased. It's not an exaggeration to say it's been booming. So why can I say a plateau this time, and only this time must not skyrocket again and plummet? You just have to look at real estate account balances. It's clear that lunar surface real estate market price has been supported by influx of capital from Earth. Even when you look at the incredibly low interest rates of a rental market, the rise in price is not linked to actual demand. It's clearly speculation. Plus you can see recent data in the place of investments on Earth has slightly slowed down. Yes, people on the front lines have started noticing something was off, that's why. And how many people would be willing to bet their money with this explanation? Even with a lag, he interrupted me as I was speaking. That probably meant he didn't plan on listening to a whole explanation. What? How? Do you think the people entrusting you with their money wants it in the hands of someone investing like he would jump at the first bet he sees? Or was that a loss for words? Between the signals round trip silence, it must have been 10 long seconds before Marco carried on speaking. When we invested in ABS, my impression was that it was a result of careful deliberation. Chris was knowledgeable about this field, were already aware of ABS for a while, But even so, they did not contact us to mention that it did not fit your stance. But it's different this time. You're completely changing your opinion. And even though you'd invested in it after due consideration, you're not expecting it to collapse. How do you explain this? I'm a lesser investor than you, Hal, but I deal with our backers more often than you do. I'm confident that I know better than you what they expect from you, Hal. That's my conviction. It's consistent. That was the foundation behind Marco's unwavering words, and I had no answer to give. I thought you weren't the type to go wandering around knowing what you were doing. But attachment kills people. Investment, one thing, but if you're never supposed to do is persist in your errors. There's also a possibility what you're thinking right now is mistaken. The best thing to do would be sell our ABS and preserve. That way we have no risks. Besides, what you're thinking has also been denied by you were smarter people than you. Can't you see? Who? The market. Since the market has already proven Dr. Wallace was wrong, you don't exactly have an edge. Heavy losses due to large-scale negative carry trades. If Wallace's investments were done against ABS's protection, that meant every once in a while he would have to bleed out insurance money. Plus, loss of value of insurance must have also felt. Ha, I get it. ABS's survival on the market is shaking your convictions. I guess it would feel good about it collapsing. It's quite vexing for me too, even though it must be an inferiority complex from someone who's not skilled enough at maths. But please remember, the relation between risk and return. Weren't you more knowledgeable about this than anyone else? Marco speaking slowly, one word at a time, just like Risa did when admonishing someone. In order to achieve 12.5 thousand profits, what kind of risk must you take? It was at this point I finally understood what Marco was saying. The simple relationship between risk and returns. Returns are this big, but of course risk must be big. He is determined that no one on the market, not in the world, would win a bet of which could expect a 125-fold return. It was because the people thought ABS wouldn't collapse. Real estate loans couldn't collapse. The insurance fees got cheaper, and the returns pulled upwards. And when it came to 125-fold return, it was nearly as if the whole world was flat out saying, it's not possible. And in the end, how sane would someone look betting on money on this? Who trusts their money in a guy like that? If mathematics was revered from a field of investment, it was because they utterly destroyed the savage notion of feeling based on years of experience. It was because you didn't need to rely on suspicious investment skills. Speaking mathematically, a bet with 125 return should be in the realm of near impossibility. How? I get that you have a rough time being outwitted by cows, getting fewer and fewer returns, and having your convictions shaken up by a rival of ABS. That's all the more reason for you not to fall into despair. No, I tried answering, but words failed me. Marco's statement about jumping at the first bet he sees stabbed deep into my heart. Structured investment is in the top 15% of the sector, you know? Also, the housing project is going steady. It's not that bad, not bad at all. Just that the mood of the market is crazy. I think you should take a step away from the market, enlarge your field of view. I noticed how off it was because I enlarged my field of view of the market. Not being an environment so crazy you could view it and analyse it from a distance. That's exactly what I'd been thinking of dealing with a bubble. That's what I wanted to claim, but my thoughts made my words stick in my throat. Marco's words hit home way too hard. If you can't give up, then do earn your own pocket money. It's not my business what you do in your own time. That's above my pay grade anyway. I won't tell you that your eating habits affect negatively on your investment performance, and I won't give you statistics on how getting married helps you live longer. So you need to let go of what happened 8 years ago and move on. He said it so bluntly I couldn't even get angry or feel shaken. But no matter what, I can't approve of the assessments of a fund. I'll call Risa and stop you if I have to. It's true that if returns materialised, it would be incredible, but that's because the chances of success are so infinitesimally small. Stay on target. You stand to lose way too much. Is that what you always said, Hal? But one should never ever risk a bet where I stand to lose everything? All I could see in my mind was a table piled with overflowing with chips. Excitement bound from being nearly convinced of my victory. That fresh eyes looking at me from the outside. All they would probably see was just a mere gambler convinced he would win this time for sure. So please forget about investing and take it easy. Yeah. Well then. As the communication cut out, I was brought back to reality. It was incredibly embarrassing. I'd been extremely excited. I was so sure about my hands on a map of an as yet undiscovered treasure island. I get my hand on incredible wealth, so much wealth I could raise the dead. Be able to reach my dreams, I'll be able to prove that unreal investment wasn't wrong. My excitement turned into warfare and sloop into thorns that attacked me. Was in turmoil over having an unwritten investment rule violated by ABS? Was I getting gloomy over the fact I'd started understanding less and less about the stock market than I was used to? Was feeling more pressure when I thought over reducing my returns? It was true that one couldn't figure out their own bugs. I was feeling less and less confident in my own sanity, probably because the excitement was wearing off. With a thud, the whole room shook. The orbital elevator, guarded by maths, made it safely to its destination again today. Once I was off the orbital elevator, I was forced to ride yet another long elevator. As it went forward, the weightlessness state progressively faded. The orbital base was divided into several layers made of concentric circles. Use a centrifugal force to allow for experience of gravity. Oh, looks somewhat different to the one. As I could finally feel a way in my body, I'd arrived at the last step of the elevator. To going through the entrance, inspection and crossing gate, I saw something that was an identical departure gate on the lunar surface. It really is. The moment I thought I'd been deceived, but the scenery outside the window was different from that lunar surface. This giant blue sphere that looked like it had been about to fall down was showing itself in all its glory, looking small yet actually large. Other people disembarking from the ramp, only the young ones were looking around open-mouthed, more than likely they had been born on the moon like me. However, as everyone separated into groups of 2 or 3, even the blueness of the earth was not enough to attract my attention. I was still overwhelmed by Marco's warning. As I passed through a district there, just like a moon, shops sponsored by international commerce capital lined up. I also could catch the sight of a mortgage loan booths, starting with New Age developments. Like here, you could feel the rational influence of Earth. With lots of people glancing at electronic bulletin boards displaying the market prices of properties. Most of them were simply looking at them out of curiosity. Also, a lot of people were shaking their heads dejected. Rose's reaction I expected those prices, even the concept of taking loans to this kind of place, were weird, no matter how much you thought about it. Of course, there's no one to receive customers and listen to it business. It just felt like we were just running an exhibit of aliens coming from a lunar surface. I thought that, but at the same time, I wondered if my perception wasn't a bit biased. But even so. Oh, that's a nice room. While these worries were looping in my head with no answer in sight, I checked for a hotel reserved from a lunar surface. One of those chain hotels you can find anywhere. That is a beautiful room. Here it seemed like the gravity was already a bit stronger than on a lunar surface. As I signed in, according to Earth custom, my hand felt clumsy. Even a simple fountain pen felt strangely heavy. Might have been feeling emotionally beaten, but this boded nothing good for the future. Such thoughts crossed my mind and a personal reception addressed me. Miss Kimura, received a message for you. What message? Any contact outside our defined check-in is meant trouble. There's a reaction ingrained from me in meaning investment fund. I actually received electronic data. It was something like an email with signature in familiar handwriting. Swamp right, Anna? Instinctively raised my voice, the receptionist noticed it. Thank you. Saying this, I headed my room with a bag and tablet open. Walked across the lively coffee lounge, opened a message on my tablet. Hello. Since you received this message after arriving at the base, I suppose this must be a very active signing using a fountain pen. As you're in despair over how this bodes nothing good for the future. Just seeing right through me, eh? Laughed awkwardly and read the rest of the message. With that in mind, since you are coming over, a big hotel but not a high-class one, it was not like there was someone standing by the elevator to press a button for me. From my gaze on my tablet, extending my hand in order to push a button. But in that instant, an agile hand reached from the side and pushed a button in front of me. Oh, sorry. Uttering a simple word, I returned my glance to the tablet. I thought something was off. What was it? I resumed reading the message. I thought I would go to space too. It has been a while after all. Huh? Let us meet at a hotel. Eleanor. Huh? She's beautiful. She really is more beautiful than she was 4 years ago. Someone read the last line out loud for me, prompting me to raise my head in surprise. Before me stood Eleanor, looking far more composed than 4 years ago. Eleanor was sitting the other side of her table in the lounge, elegantly drinking tea. I think that's probably the best place to end it, actually. That's a big surprise. I mean, I'm just watching the stream preview on my left and still just gawking on how beautiful she is these days. I mean, let's be fair, she was beautiful 4 years ago, but 4 years later, she's truly blossomed. Oh well, thank you very much for watching, guys. We're heading back down to Earth. By saying back down to Earth, Koala's never actually been to Earth. But yeah, it truly has been a pleasure. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.